How's it going, everyone? I hope you're all doing well, and I've been working out of this space for almost a year now, but I realized I've never given you guys the full exclusive tour. So today, that's exactly what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take you entirely through this relatively small space, but all the same, this is where pretty much every video on this channel gets made now. So, I mean, works for me. Okay, so first of all, without wasting any time, let's focus on the desk. So obviously the centerpiece of this desk is my 2020 M1 MacBook Pro. This is the machine that powers this whole desk, as well as almost all my creative work. Now, I did spec this thing out a good amount, and yes, I was too impatient to wait for the 14 and 16-inch models. All things considered though, this machine is an absolute champ. It definitely works for me. It runs Final Cut, Premiere Pro, Logic, all the tools that I need, but it does only run on USB-C. Luckily, that's where the monitor comes in. So this is the BenQ 27UD88. I picked this thing up earlier in the year because I really wanted to try like a one USB-C cable setup. And while I do have a 3.5mm jack plugged in, most of the time, that's it. Now, this monitor is excellent for what I do. I find 27 inches to be the perfect size for video editing. It's also 4K, it's got amazing colors, and seeing as I was coming from a 5K iMac, the replacement certainly had to be decent, and this definitely fulfilled its duties. Next up, we have the mouse, which is the original MX Master. Okay, so why the original? Well, it's my favorite mouse ever, and I don't really want to move on from it unless I have to. Also, you can get these things way cheaper nowadays. So yeah, that's basically the only reason why I use it. I like how it fits my hand, it works well for editing videos, that's it. The keyboard is a little bit more dynamic. Honestly, a lot of the time, I just use the built-in keyboard on my MacBook, but most of the time, it's usually a switch between the Magic Force 68 and like an Apple wireless keyboard, maybe. I do also use the iQ Unix L80 in here from time to time, but I don't usually keep that keyboard at this setup, whereas this Magic Force 68, yeah, it's been there for a while. After this, we have my studio monitors, which are my ever-faithful PreSonus Eris 3.5s. I've been using these things for like 3 years now, and honestly, I see no reason to upgrade. They've been perfect for what I want to use them for. They're great for editing these videos, and seeing as how cheap they were, honestly, they're pretty great value. And finally, for the desk, we have the desk. I personally bought this desk because it was deeper than the previous IKEA Miike I was using. Honestly, I didn't want to be right on top of my monitor, so this works nicely. Overall, it looks good, it's not too costly, and served me well. So next up, we're going to be moving on to the video equipment side of my studio, starting out with the microphone. You can't see it, but there it is. Now you can see it. So this is the Rode VideoMic. Now, for a while, some of you may remember I used a dedicated on-camera microphone, and I have no idea why this was. For some reason, that kind of bummed me out and made it very difficult to record. With a setup like this, where I have a boomed microphone on this lovely, I forget what they're called. I think it's a scissor stand, and plugging that directly into my camera to save me from having to sync it in post. Seriously, like 70 or 80% of your microphone's performance is in the way you use it. So as long as you understand good mic positioning, which I do, and also some audio editing techniques, which again, I do. Well, I'm not like crazy knowledgeable on the subject. I certainly know enough to get good audio, and this makes making videos a lot more fun. I can just sit down, I can hit record, and I can start. After this, we have my camera. Now, this is the Canon EOS R, which I've been using for a pretty long time now, and a Canon 24-70L lens. This combination helps me get both these talking headshots as well as my B-roll. I find that 24-70 is like the perfect focal length for doing what I'm doing. You can get really nice and close and get that nice compressed look with the 70mm, and the camera doesn't have to be in like another dimension if I want to film myself. To light myself, I am still using the Godox SL60W, and while it is a pretty large video light, it's lasted really well. It gives nice color accurate light, which is super important, and this thing's lit my videos since, well, I think before I properly started making them. It's good. Next up, we have some more new additions. We have these, come on, these fairy lights, and those RGB bulbs. These essentially add a nice bit of color to my background, and while it's not super necessary and kind of cheaty, I personally really like how it looks. After this, we have the acoustic treatment. Now, acoustic treatment is extremely important. If you don't have some, it's pretty cheap to make very effective stuff, and you can even have it the same color as your background, so it's not too obvious. I also have this nice green wall here that I often use as a background for B-roll. I do also have some other props that I use for B-roll. I have an old corkboard, I have an old gimbal case, and I have this sheet. I think that one's from Denelm. It was like the cheapest one. And that leads us on to the last crucial part of this studio. This table that you can't see. I basically take all of my thumbnails on this table as well as use it to put my iPad. So whenever I need a script, because I really don't like using teleprompters, found my delivery really wasn't that good when I was using them, but I'm not perfect. Sometimes I'll need some notes. Sometimes I'll need a full script. So this works nicely. I can move it around easily because it's not too big. It works for storing any gear that I don't immediately need, and having it here is just very useful. All right, I think that's it. Well, it's not the slickest space, and it certainly isn't the largest. Working at this room has taught me a lot. It's taught me how to make the most out of different environments. As I said, I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different B-roll locations in this pretty small room that already contains a lot of large video gear. And while working in a small space does certainly come with its challenges, I like this little studio. It's nice. You guys have been seeing it pretty much all year now, so I hope you enjoyed this more detailed rundown. Alright, so I thought we'd finish off this video by reading some of your questions. Alright, so first question, do you think Apple will ever add USB-C to the iPhone, or will they go completely portless with MagSafe? If they did go the MagSafe route, would you be annoyed at all? Yes. Please, Apple, put USB-C on the iPhone. It's good. It's on the iPad. It's on the Mac. It just makes sense. So, well, the answer is, I hope so. Personally, I don't know, but yes, I would very much dislike it if they just went with MagSafe. Out of all the Apple products you've tried, what are your top 2 favorites? That is a good one. Okay, so I think one of my favorites has to be like the 15-inch original Retina MacBook Pro with all the ports. Man, I love that computer. That was such a nice laptop. Not that I don't love the M1 MacBook, and it's certainly a better machine, but man, nostalgia is a powerful tool. What's my other favorite? Honestly, I think I'm gonna have to say the 27-inch 5K iMac. If you haven't been watching my channel all this long, I had the 2017 model, and that thing carried this channel. I churned out so many videos through that thing. So yeah, I got a lot of love for that machine. Alright guys, so that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let me know, by the way, what are your 2 favorite pieces of tech ever? Feel free to let me know in the comments. I always enjoy reading those. Once again, a huge thank you to my generous patrons for helping to support this channel. As for now though, as always, thank you for watching. Remember to like the video if you want to see more content like this, then smash that subscribe button. I'm done for now, and I will see you guys in the next one.